Oh, what's up, people? Hope everybody's having a good day. What's going on, everybody? Um, let's see here. I'm just sharing out a little bit. Do do do. Oh, so let's talk about. So we've got stuff coming up. Thank you, James. Yeah, that sadly that was the closest they could get. I wish they could have got the um, a little closer to the name, but that was the only one that was available. It would have been cool to have been able to swap the letters a little bit, but you couldn't really get it to do that. Um, what's up, guys? For everybody jumping in the video, feel free to say hi. Don't be one of those people that's just clearing your notifications and then saying F you and bouncing. Take a moment, say hi. You know, it's amazing how many people don't bother to even say hi anymore. They just clear their notifications and bounce. So we're going to be talking about a little bit of different topics. Man, God, I'm so damn sick of seeing this Taylor Swift shit. You can't even open Facebook without something to do with that little damn attention person. Um, so we've got some upcoming Comic Cons. Hey, what's up, Rich? We've got this coming weekend is Bell County Comic Con in Belton, Texas, I believe. So some of us will be at that event. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Psycho Sal Kickstarter ended earlier, or this morning at like 9 a.m. or something like that, or something. Um, so it is done. I'm super excited about that. I'm glad to see the next issue fulfill. That will be going to print here soon. We just got to wait on everything to finalize, and then that will go to print. Super excited about that one. The script for issue number 2, of course, is already finished. Issue number 6. Jesus. That's already completed. So, we're just, we'll wait on the Kickstarter to, do what it's got to do here over the next few days or to a week. Books should be going to print in about a week or so, maybe 2 weeks at the most. Like I said, we got to wait on Kickstarter to finalize, and then the book will go to print here soon. And then we move on to issue number 5. Marcelo's already working on the interior art. I've already got my cover finished for it. It's going to color here soon. Ken Hunt, of course, already has his cover completed for it. Of course, his will be a colored version on issue number 5. It won't be the black and white like you saw on the preview for this Kickstarter. Then we have, here over the next, probably over the next few weeks, I'll start doing cover reveals or excuse me, cover guest artist announcements for issue number 5. And of course, you already know Ken Hunt's doing a cover. I'm doing a cover, and Anna Azul's doing a cover. So I'm super excited about that. It's going to be awesome seeing, these cover announcements, again, as I mentioned, that are going to be coming soon. Definitely a huge thank you, to all the artists who took part, on Cycle Style number 4. Chris and them working behind the scenes, and McLean doing the project managing stuff also. Lori for the story and everything. So everybody's done extremely well with making sure all this kind of clicks together. So I'm super grateful for that. I'm super excited for that. Everybody's done an incredible job with it. But what I'm excited about next is, we've got the script already done for issue number 5. It's already being drawn as we speak. Cover artists are working on covers, and I'm super damn excited to start doing those, like I mentioned, those guest artist reveals here over the next 2 or 3 weeks. We got super close on issue number 4 to the $5,000 stretch goal. God, we were so dang close. But that's okay. Now, as we mentioned before, with issue number 5, there's going to be some changes to how the Kickstarter's done, because I've done 4 issues where it was, solely about the book and getting the book out there and making sure everybody could get their hands on it. And that's still going to be true to a degree on issue number 5, but there's definitely going to be some changes going into that one. Because of the guest artists that I have doing covers for that book. Things will have to be adjusted accordingly to make sense. So, when we move with issue number 5, we got so close to the damn 100 backers, man. That's the way it goes sometimes with Kickstarters, man. The other thing too, and we knew it was going to be a little lighter this time, because we had several Comic-Cons, including San Diego Comic-Con, going on during this month. And there's a lot of people that go to that show, and that's not a cheap show to go to. Even though lots of people saved money this year in general because they weren't paying all these inflated ass ridiculous signatures from actors. But I'm sure they still spent money in other areas. But it was kind of cool to see, because that's the first time San Diego Comic-Con has really and truly been a Comic-Con for artists and creators in a long time. I mean, it's been about actors for like 20 damn years, if not longer. So that was pretty cool to see that it kind of was able to go back to its roots, so to speak, because of none of the big name actors being able to be there. So a lot of people kind of didn't like that, and they kind of bashed it. I thought it was great. I wish I could have been there for that. Hey, what's up, Nita? Yeah, exactly. It was a real Comic-Con. Nita, when you going to come on my show and hang out and chat? You do all this damn shit for all these damn creators and stuff, and you barely jump on to which I understand. Not a lot of people want recognition for what they technically do, but you do a lot. You and Heather both do a lot. but yeah, it's good to see, a Comic-Con that is, again, more about, the creators and stuff than it being about celebrities. And look, I get that a lot of you guys, you love your celebrities, you love your voice actors, you love. Uh-oh. Why did my monitor screen just go black? Hang on one second. Because there's my computer right there. But why did my monitor just go black? Hang on one second, guys. I hope my monitor didn't just die on me. I'm going to be pissed if my damn, 20-something inch monitor just died on me. And I think it may have. Interesting. Hang on a second, guys. Bear with me a moment. Let me look at some stuff on here. Bear with me a moment. All right. There we go. All right, we're back. I just unplugged the power and plugged it back in. Always remember that. Unplug, turn the power off, and turn it back on. Yeah, but you're going to have to come on my show at some damn time, damn it. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I totally understand that a lot of you guys are all about your actors and all about voice actors, et cetera, et cetera. But one thing you guys have really got to remember, when you get all pissy because your actors aren't going to be somewhere, or the actor you wanted to see at some smaller show can't be there, and you make these little snide ass comments about, oh, well, shit, so-and-so ain't going to be there. That's the only reason I was going. They might as well cancel the show. You sound like a petty bitch. I'm just going to be blunt with you. If that's the way you look at it and you go, oh, well, so-and-so's not going to be there, so they might as well cancel. That's one selfish ass comment to make on a public ass post. I get that you're disappointed, and I get that you ain't gonna get that 15 seconds of being able to tell somebody how much you appreciate them for whatever odd reason. Maybe of course, I love the liners I hear where, oh, you changed my life. Whatever. But but my point is it's okay to be disappointed, and be irritated about it or be upset about it. That's totally okay. But when you go to the post where the Comic-Con has announced that person has canceled, and you chime in with that self-centered, selfish ass attitude, you're kind of shitting on everyone else that makes your Comic-Con possible. Because I'm going to, you guys have heard me mention this before, and I'm going to break it to you again. Those actors don't make your Comic-Con. If it were not for the other 90% of the people there who pay, the artists, the creators, the writers, the vendors, et cetera, who paid for table booths, that weren't given the golden ticket of a free ride, and that we had to fund ourselves to be there, paying for our tables, paying for our booths, et cetera, which are not cheap, you wouldn't have a Comic-Con. You really need to stop shitting on people with that comment that make your con possible in the first place. Because if it were not for us, there would not be a Comic-Con. Have you ever been to a Comic-Con where the only people at that show were the actors and there were no one else? No, that's never happened in the life of Comic-Cons. But you've been to plenty of Comic-Cons where there were no actors, including San Diego, the largest Comic-Con in the world, I believe. I know it is in the country, but I believe it's the largest in the world. And you just went to that Comic-Con that had 0 actors in it, and that Comic-Con was perfect. Not a single problem. It didn't falter. It didn't dwindle. It didn't, not have the population there. So they just proved to you that that little 5% of actors, 10% of actors that come to a Comic-Con don't affect the outcome of a Comic-Con. So, just take that, take that as in your thought process. When you're pissed off because your favorite little actor isn't there, and you're irritated or upset or whatever the case may be, don't run to the post where they had to cancel the guy, or run to the promoter's page and start yelling about, oh, so and so can't be there, that's the only reason I'm going, they might as well cancel the show. You sound like a selfish ass bitch. I'm sorry, you just do. There's a lot of great people at Comic-Cons. You don't have to have your head up some actor's ass. I'm sorry, you don't. There's tons of great talent in the house. There's tons of great vendors and things like that you can go check out, and and take the time to look. You never know when you might find a book that you really like, from a writer or from an indie creator or something like that. Or you may stumble upon, the next Jim Lee, you know what I'm saying? Or you may stumble on to the next creator of an indie project that goes to Netflix or that goes to Hulu or any of that kind of shit. I mean, hey, what's up, Jeff? Don't bash a Comic-Con because they couldn't get your favorite actor. It's stupid. Because there's a hell of a lot more going on at that Comic-Con than your little actor. Okay. That actor won't ever remember you. Your name won't ever cross their mind again. And because of the amount of people that's coming through. But that person in Artist Alley that you stumble upon and create a bit of conversation with, that person will remember you the next time they see you at that Comic-Con. It is what it is. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with being fans of actors or things like that. It's stupid when you put people on this ridiculously idiotic pedestal that they're the end all be all. And hey, what's up, Heather? Yeah. And again, and it's not because they're trying to be mean or anything. It's just they got so many people being rushed by them. They'll never be able to have a 5-minute conversation with you to really create a bit of a connection, where you can find that in the indie, in the artist alleys, and you can find that in the vendor booths a lot of times. So and again, like I said, there's nothing wrong with being disappointed, or even maybe upset that your favorite artist your favorite person can't be their actor or whatever. But don't go to their page and bash them or harass them or talk shit about how, oh, you might as well cancel the show. No, you stay your ass at home. The rest of us will have a good time because you already apparently don't understand the concept of a Comic-Con, and you already don't understand that we make your Comic-Con possible. The people that are paying for tables, the people that are paying for vendor booths, et cetera, et cetera. We allow you to have the opportunity for that actor to come to that Comic-Con. Because if it weren't for all the people buying the tables and shit, you wouldn't have a Comic-Con. Stop doing that shit. Yeah, Cowtown's a great one. Like Chris and him, Chris and him is as they've moved into being Comic-Con promoter, and this is like their 5th year, and they've grown tremendously each year. They know how to put on a Comic-Con, and they do it the right way. And that's, they make it affordable for the fans to get through the door. They're not trying to nickel and dime every damn body. They're not trying to, and don't get me wrong, Cowtown is not an itty bitty con. It's a really, really good sized Comic-Con. It's no joke, especially considering it's only 5 years. This is its 5th year, I believe. And they are putting up some really solid numbers for that reason. But they make coming through the door affordable for families. They're not trying to $80 gouge every single person that walks through the door. And don't get me wrong, Cowtown's got enough of a following, and they do shit the right way, that they could charge $50, $60 to get through the damn door, and people would pay it. But they don't do that because they put fans first. They put the vendors and the artists and everyone who's bought tables to be at their Comic-Con first. So the way Chris's mentality is, the way he looks at it is if we charge a fair rate for people to get through the door, that gives them more money in their pocket as a whole to spend at the tables. I mean, like I'll go ahead and say it right now, like Comic Palooza. I did Comic Palooza this year. I won't ever do Comic Palooza again. They were charging people $80. Look, I do MegaCon Orlando. I do Van Expo Dallas. I've done C2E2. I've done a lot of these big ass Comic Cons. And Comic Palooza is probably maybe just a hair over half the size of C2E2 or MegaCon Orlando. And those places charge like $70 or so, give or take, to get in the door. But they're tremendously bigger. Comic Palooza is nowhere near their size, and they're hitting people for $80 a day on Saturdays and 75, I think, 70 or 75 on Sunday with a coupon. That's bullshit. Nobody was spending money. And I mean, I always do great at all my shows, and even that one was a bit of like, what the hell's going on? And then we found out what they were charging people to get in the door, and we were like, holy shit, that's C2E2 prices. That's New York Comic Con prices. That's MegaCon. That's, all these much bigger Comic Con prices, and they're doing it. I can't even say Comic Palooza is good for that. I don't know. I mean, I didn't get a chance to, I don't leave my table much, especially when it's like that. And you can't really leave your table because you don't know, again, I mean, there was one moment where like I was just testing the waters to see, and I've never done this and never had to, but there was a moment where we're standing there on that row and nobody's, like, people are walking, but nobody's buying. And we're like, what the hell is going on? Because it wasn't a one artist problem or a one creator problem. It was across the board. Like, you look down the aisles and nobody's doing any exchanging. And we're sitting, and this is on a Saturday, and we're like, what the hell is going on? And like, I even said, I shouted out on the aisle, I said, next 10 minutes, all prints, $10 signed. Nobody. So, and like I said, afterwards, we talked to a bunch of the vendors, we talked to a bunch of the artists and creators, and everybody was like, oh no, dude, nobody was buying shit. But like I said, you can't charge a person $80 a person to get into a medium-sized con. You know what I'm saying? That leaves them nowhere near the money. You don't have the numbers. You're not doing 150,000 people, on a Saturday, or 200,000 people. You're doing nowhere near the numbers that could offset that. So yeah, I won't ever do Comic Palooza again. I mean, this was only their third year back, I believe. Because I didn't do them last year. I was booked somewhere else, but I think I did them the year before. Now, the year before, that was a great one, but it was their first time back after COVID. So yeah, that's another true point too. Yeah, the parking, they were hitting people for $40 a park a car, something like that. I mean, it was insane parking. Now, some people are like, oh, you shouldn't say nothing bad about a comic. What the fuck ever, man. I pay to go to these things. If you don't want people to say anything negative, don't do negative shit. I'm sick of that damn mentality people have. Oh, you can't say nothing. You're an artist. You can't say nothing. Like, oh, you can't say nothing about nothing. You got to sit back and be quiet. What the hell ever. I mean, if you're doing great, man, I will throw you tons of kudos. And that's the way it should be. Like, we should be allowed to talk about a Comic-Con. I mean, we're not bashing them. We're just saying, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. But that's also one of the situations when you have, a city running a con. They tend to try to nickel and dime every aspect of that con, because our tables are not cheap at those cons. And then they screw us on the table space because we don't really get tons of space at a lot of these cons. Pre-COVID, you got a 6-foot table in an 8x10 spot. So, so it's usually 6-foot table, a foot on that side of the table between you and your neighbor, a foot between you and your neighbor on this end. And then it usually went back about 8 feet to 10 feet behind you. Well, when COVID happened and then cons started up again, they were doing the whole COVID super aisles for spacing for everybody, but yet they crammed us on top of one another. They gave the fans tons of walking room with these giant aisles, but they bumped our 6-foot tables against one another, shrunk the area behind us from the 8 to 10 feet behind us. They shrunk it down to about 6 feet. So we got a 6-foot table by 6-foot spot because they claimed that we had to be put closer together so the aisles could be bigger. But they charged us the exact same money for the old space size. Well, now COVID's gone. It's over. It was miraculously cured, by the Ukraine war. Apparently that vanished it, But anyway, some cons are still trying to manipulate that shit. Like I just did a con not too long ago, and they had our tables butted against one another. Like if we wanted to leave behind our table, we had to walk all the way down the aisle behind everyone else's banners and go out, one of the ends of the aisles, like because they're still trying to, con us with that shit. They're still charging us the same prices for those 8-foot by 8-foot or 8-foot by 10-foot spots. But yet now it's like 6 feet by 6 feet. So, so we're still getting kind of screwed in on that. So, it's just one of those things where, you're already nickel and diming us, and then you want to, now you want to nickel and dime everybody walking through the door. So, so Cowtown, they do, and there's other cons that do it different too. That still show us respect about giving us enough space where we're not piled on top of our, neighbor and the table next to us. But there's a lot of cons that are still milking that COVID space. Yeah, I'm not, when I talk about my con experiences, I just think it's good. And again, you always take a con experience with a grain of salt. Because I've personally been at cons where I sat and listened to some damn artist bitch and cry me a river about how they can't make no money and how they ain't doing shit. But yet every time I look over there, they're not being engaging. They're not being polite. They're not, going out of their way to talk to people walking by. They're just sitting there playing on their phone, or they're sitting there with their face buried in some sketch and barely acknowledging anybody. You can't do that at a con. We're there to put on a damn show, whether you want to admit to it or not. Our duty, as being an artist and a creator, is being a salesman on top of that. That or throw you some sugar candy behind the table. I mean, there's some folks that do that. They throw eye candy behind their table. They're what we call booth babes. So you can go that route if you want to, but you got to do something to get people to stop and pay attention. So, and you can't sit back and bitch and cry because you didn't make no money because you didn't do the work. You got to work for it. A lot of artists have this damn mentality like, don't you know who I am? And everybody should just walk up and praise me. No, they shouldn't. I know I'm not. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't care if you've been in the business 50 damn years. So you take it with a grain of salt. Even what I, and that's why I don't give my opinion about the money, like making money. Like I don't speak on how much money I make. I do well at every damn show I do, and that's the extent of me talking about it. Even if I did, out of 5 years of doing this, I've only had like 1 or 2 shows where I just broke even, and I think I've only had 1 show where I lost a little money. But it was like a 1-day event. So it kind of happens sometimes. But the majority of it, I always do well, I always do fine. I don't have an issue. Knock on wood, most of the shows I do, I've got enough of a fan base. They come out and they show love, and I do well. But I also hustle the entire time I'm there too. I'm not sitting with my face buried in work. I'm not playing on my phone or any, ooh, I got hiccups, or any of that bullshit. I'm engaging every single person, and that's what you have to do. But but when I do talk about my Comic-Con experience, I try to talk about the stuff that's factual, or not necessarily. I don't mean factual. I just mean the stuff that pertains to the con. So what they're charging people to get through the door, what they're charging us to set up at the con, versus the space that they're actually giving us. So I'll talk about things like that, and it's the same concept. If you don't want to be, if you don't want to be spoken about in a negative light, don't do negative shit. I mean, it's the same concept when we talk about other artists that are acting like assholes, or we talk about vendors that are being dicks. If you don't want to be mentioned, don't do shit to make people mention you. And like I said, and I'm not trying to bash any con or anything like that. I'm just speaking about my experience with it. And if I go into it and I spend, $1,000, anywhere between $1,500 to almost $2,000 coming to a show, travel, hotel, table costs, et cetera, and then I can't make money because everybody coming through the door is getting hit with almost $100 a person to walk through the damn door, which means anybody that's more than one person don't have no money to spend. And most people are families. Whether it's a dad bringing in a couple of kids, or whether it's mom doing it, or whether it's mom and dad coming in with a few kids, that's a shitload of people to spend money on to get through a door. Is bullshit. And then the $40 parking on top of it, that's just more bullshit. And like I said, when you're not a Comic-Con that warrants that kind of money, I think it's really bullshit. I mean, me personally, I think most Comic-Cons shouldn't cost more than $60 a person to get in on a Saturday. $60 for a Saturday, $60 for a Sunday, and like $100 for, both days, something like that, $110, $100 for both days, something like that. That should be really the extent of it. You charging someone $80 to get through the damn doors, bullshit. Because you already done made a shitload of money off of every single artist, creator, writer, etc., vendor booth, and so on in that damn building. You've made a shitload of money when you're charging people $450 for a 6-foot table, or $400 for a 6-foot table, or you're paying, and then you're charging artists, $700 for an end cap. And then you're charging booths, people who have booths, vendors, you're charging them, $1,000, $1,500 plus for a damn vendor booth, depending on the size. So you're making shitloads of money. And now, don't get me wrong, renting a building, even a mid-sized building, is not cheap, but that's why they sell this shit, at the end of the show the year before. They'll pre-sell the majority of their tables right then at the show that we're already at. They're selling us tables for the next year's show. And a lot of people are locking themselves in right then because they do get a little bit of a discount by doing that, but it ain't much. But they're kind of, they're guaranteeing themselves that spot at that show, because you do risk, if you don't do that, you do risk when they do open up table spots, you may not get a table, sometimes they can sell out really quick. But sitting back and nickel and diming everybody, I think is such a dumb way to do it. It's such an incredible way to shoot yourself in the foot. Because I mean, think about that. If you're a mid-sized con and you're charging someone $80 a person to get in, so it's $80 for mom, it's $80 for dad, then you got a couple teenage kids that are $80 a pop because they're teenagers. And you're wanting to go get, let's say one of your kids, Darth Vader fan, and they want, what's his name to sign something. That's like probably a, $80 to $100 signature. And then, a couple prints here or there. And dude, you're, $500, $600, $700 in the hole. Most people don't have that. you know. But if you charge someone like $40 or $50 to get through the door, that gives them a little money to spend everywhere else. I mean, like I said, and don't be wrong, I understand the flip side to it is if you live in a town that has a Comic-Con every year, you got a whole year to save up your damn money to have money to spend at the con. I mean, let's just be honest about it. I mean, you do. You got an entire damn year. Even though I'm talking, what cons, in my opinion, cons should do. I mean, fans should take some responsibility themselves too. I'm the same. I believe the same way when it comes to parents and Christmas. You got a whole damn year to save up and your money for those events. Same thing with a Comic-Con. You got a whole damn year to save your money to be able to go to a con and spend $400 or $500 damn dollars. You had a whole year to save up for it. So yeah, I mean, and I'm sure that's why some con promoters probably look at it too. Well, you've had all year to save up your money, and so we're still going to charge this. But some of these places are definitely, in my opinion, charging way too much to get in. Because like I said, I know what it costs to rent some of these buildings for these mid-sized cons and larger cons. Like I've talked to promoters about what it costs them to do it, and it's not cheap. But like I said, the majority of that money is handled with all the people, if not all of it in some cases, by the people buying tables and booths. Which is why, that's how they get their money in most cases to pay these bigger actors and stuff to come in, because they have to give them plane tickets in a lot of situations. They have to give them the tables. They have to pay for their hotels. They have to give them a guarantee on how much money they'll make. So there's all kinds of other shit that goes into it. But a lot of that money is usable from all the people that's signing up again for tables and booths and things like that. But as I was saying, what started the conversation was me talking about, like, just because your favorite actor or someone can't be there, don't go to the damn Facebook page and make some damn woe is me bullshit comment about how, well, Christian's not going to be there, so that's the only person I was even coming for, so you might as well just cancel the show. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Don't be that person, because you're shitting. When you make that statement, you're saying that no one else there matters. And whether you know them or don't know them is irrelevant. They make your show possible. So don't do that to them. Don't do that. That makes people go, well, shit, fuck you too. I mean, damn. I mean, because your little actor isn't what made that con possible. Like I said, I hate to break that reality to you, but it's not. Everyone else did. What's up, Mr. Chris? Hope you guys had a good weekend. If you were out there also. Yeah, we were just talking about you guys, about how you guys put on a damn good show. And there's a lot of damn Comic-Cons that could take some damn lessons from you guys. A lot of Comic-Cons. Because, another thing about Cowtown, and there's a few cons that do this, but it's very few. Cowtown also equally promotes every single person that's coming to that show. It does not matter whether they're famous or unfamous. It doesn't matter whether they're a guest or they're a paying vendor or something. It doesn't matter. Like, they promote every single person that's going to be at that show. And that's the way you should do it. Because, a lot of Comic-Cons, they want to make this bullshit excuse. Oh, well, we don't have time to do an advertisement for everybody. That's a straight up lie, bullshit lie. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. I'll call you a liar all day long on that bullshit. Because they've got months on top of months on top of months before that show ever happens, where they start promoting who's going to be at that show. They can sit down and make a damn little. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, part of that needs to be on the responsibility of the artist, vendor, whoever that wants to be promoted. So, like, for me personally, I have my own little promo thing. It's a one little photo thing that says Art of William Russell with some examples of my art on it. And all they literally have to do is copy, paste, Hey guys, welcome William Russell to so-and-so show. He's going to be here for these dates. 30 seconds of their life, and there's a lot of them that won't do it. So, like I said, there's only a few cons that I've done in 5 years where they actually promote all of us. They, for some reason, man, they want to treat a lot of us as second-class citizens, and that's some bullshit. Because again, at the end of the day, we are the ones who make your con possible in the first place. Again, not the superstar artists, because people's going to come to that con whether he or she is there or not. And 9 times out of 10, the con pays for that person to be there. So, so you got to keep that shit in mind. It isn't, the big names that are making your show possible. It's all the other people that's paying to be at your con, that is not getting a free hotel, that is not getting guaranteed money, that is not getting a free table, 99% of the time. And then you don't want to promote none of us. I've seen bullshit ass cons that will sit there and not promote us, the indie creators that have done published work for some of the bigger companies. Won't promote us, tell us, oh, well, we don't promote everybody. And then we turn around and see them promoting some cosplayer. Cosplay does not make a Comic-Con. Sorry, cosplayers, love you, but you don't make a Comic-Con. We do. We're the creators that make comics possible. Whether you're an artist, a writer, a letter, a penciler, an inker, a colorist, whatever the damn shit is, we are what make the comic industry possible. Actors don't. Cosplayers don't. The vehicle for Scooby-Doo don't. The vehicle for Supernatural doesn't. I hate to break that shit to you. We do. Show some fucking respect. There's nothing more here. And the kicker in the teeth is those same people that won't promote us because they think that we're too lowly to promote. Look, there's a lot of indie creators that bring people to shows. I mean, I bring people to shows. Every single show I do, I bring in numbers. I don't give a shit whether it's a damn little bitty town or big town. I got some great fans, and there's tons of other creators out there and tons of other artists and writers like myself who bring numbers into buildings. Now that we may not be bringing 300 damn people or 400 damn people, but I brought, Denver Fan Expo is a good example. I brought 122 people to that show. I know because I count them. And when I say that, I don't mean they're there just to see me. That's not what I mean. I mean that they know me. Like, they're on my Facebook friends list, etc. And they know me. So they're coming to the show to see everyone else, but they're also stopping by my table to see me. Now, would those people have been there regardless if I'm there or not? Of course. I don't mean it that way. But to sit back and pretend like we don't bring shit to the table is bullshit. But anyway, what I was going to say, the kick in the teeth is they will sit there, and when I send them my little flyer thing. Again, it's a single photo. You don't got to do shit. All you do is copy and paste it, and they won't do it. But then they will turn around and send my ass an email with their link to the show and their ticket link and all that shit and ask me to promote their show. But they won't promote me. And we're not asking people to promote shit every day. Just put the damn thing up, 30 seconds of your damn life, post our little ad, and we'll share it. We'll comment on it occasionally. We don't need you to post it every day. That's what no one is asking that. Oh, that's the other thing too, is that's something else they don't think about. Because anyone that's stubborn and hard-headed and this is going to be their career will be up here at some point. It might be, it could be next year. It could be 10 years from now. It could be 20 years from now. It doesn't matter. The point is, all these artists and creators, writers, etc., they're going to be up here at some point, especially in the indie community, because you got all these people buying up indie properties to turn into movies and TV shows. So we will be up here at some point. And I promise you, a lot of us will remember. We'll make sure that if you want us at your show, you'll pay out your ass to get us at your show, or we won't go. We'll get that back pay and that back respect. You know what I'm saying? We'll get that back respect somehow, because they will. Those people you're shunning right now, that you're treating as if they're nobody just because they're not up here yet, they will eventually be there. They're going to be your next Jim Lees. They're going to be your next Peach Momocas. They're going to be your next whomevers, you know. And you sitting here treating people like they don't deserve to have a little acknowledgement is some bullshit. Because a lot of indie people have tons of fans that come to shows to see them. I mean, it just is what it is. You taking 30 seconds to post our little ad, that doesn't hurt you at all. I mean, it's mind blowing to me to the amount of times, because I do it every single time. Every time I get approved for a table, I automatically send them that it's a single picture that says Art of William Russell and some it's a really nice looking image. You guys have seen me share it on my page, and I'll send them that, and and say, here's a thing you can use to post on your. Oh, well, we don't post everyone. Why? Everyone's what makes your show possible. But I guarantee, I shit you not, within a week of me being approved for a table spot, that I'm paying for, they'll send me that email saying, hey, do us a favor. Here's the link to the ticket booth, and here's the link to our site. If you would share that out to your page and let everyone know that where they can get the tickets. No, I'm not letting nobody know shit. I don't promote everybody. That's what I'll reply to the email. I don't give a shit. I'll reply to the email. Oh, hey, sorry guys, I don't promote everybody. What they gonna do? Tell me no next year? Oh, okay, no problem. I'll go grab one of the other hundreds of Comic-Cons on the same weekend as yours, or the weekend before, or the weekend after, and I'll go do that one. See, and that's one of the great things about being an artist or a creator or anyone that does Comic-Cons, vendors, etc. We don't have to go back to that con. We can go somewhere else and still make the money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, when you've been doing this long enough, you got fans everywhere. I mean, you can't do 70 plus published covers, retailer exclusives for Image Comics and Dynamite Comics and shit tons of indie books and of course your own IP, and not have fans in every city. I mean, there's no way for that not to happen. So, and that's where it really needs to come down to. People need to start taking a stance. Oh, you can't promote me? Okay, no problem, man. I won't do your show next year. Sadly, a lot of people won't make that stance because some of these cons, they're local and they're like, oh, I got to do it. It's right down the street from me, so I got to do it. I got a con that's right down the street from me. I haven't done it yet, and I've been living here 5 years. Hell, actually, there's 2 cons that are within 30 minutes of my house. And I haven't done either of those cons. One's a Comic-Con, one's an anime con. I haven't done those cons yet. And now it's not because I have a problem with them. I'm just booked somewhere else. You get what I'm saying? It's okay to be booked somewhere else. If you're a good salesman, you're going to make your money no matter where they put you. I mean, I've done single damn day Comic-Cons in a town that you could spit across. It was so small, and still walked away with bank. So it's all on you as a person and a salesman and a quality work, et cetera, et cetera. But having this mentality, if you're a damn con promoter and you have this shitty ass mentality, oh, we don't promote everyone. Fuck you. Okay. When I'm up here, I'll remember that shit, because I will be up there at some point. And that's not me trying to have an ego or trying to boast. I'm too stubborn. And when you're in the business long enough, you end up here. Again, whether it's 5 years, whether it's 10 years, whether it's 20 years, it doesn't matter. At some point, you're up there. At some point, people know your name, across the board. And we'll remember the people who remembered us, who gave us the time of day, And that's one of the reasons I love the way Chris and them do Cowtown. They promote every single person. And that's what you should do, because people paid you money to be there. The least you could do, is mention their name. Now, if they too damn lazy to create their own damn flyer or pay somebody to create a flyer for them, so all you got to do is click, copy, paste, then screw them, okay? Because now I don't believe that you should have to take your graphic artist, as a con promoter and spend an hour designing some kind of ad for someone or 30 minutes or whatever the case may be. No, I don't agree with that. I do believe that we should do some of the damn work. But if we send you a photo, a very beautiful, clean promo photo, and all you got to do is copy and paste, and you tell us, well, we don't really promote everybody, that's some bullshit. That's bullshit. What's up, Jake? Yeah, that's straight up bullshit. Because, I mean, again, you're talking less than 30 seconds of your life, to make that little post, less than a minute. So, so give that, if you're going to do this, give that some thought, because that's good. You don't realize how much that means to us, that you took the time to share out our little promo thing. We're going to brag about that to other artists and other vendors. Oh yeah, dude, man, I went to do so-and-so. And dude, I gave them my little thing and they posted it on their page, letting everybody know I was going to be there. That's a very good thing to do. That makes people want to do your con versus someone else who don't give two shits about them. And you may not give two shits about us, but the fact you did it is still pretty cool, I don't know why a lot of people have an issue with that one. That is a strange one for me to have an issue with. But it's also strange as fuck for me too, why you're on someone's Facebook page as a friend and you don't share their shit. And we're not talking about sharing all the time. So it kind of falls into that same category too. Like here, we'll segue into another conversation because I'm just having a conversation with you guys about a bunch of different shit tonight. I was talking to someone the other day and we were talking about somebody and they were like, oh yeah, he's on, or he or she's on my friends list too. I just unfollow them. I stay friends with them, but I just unfollow them. I'm like, why did you do that? Like, why didn't you just unfriend them? Oh, well, I didn't want to unfriend them. I just didn't want to see the stuff they're posting. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that makes zero sense. And I told him that. I was like, dude, that makes zero sense. Why are you on someone's friends list if you don't give a shit about what they're doing? Now, again, we can't babysit everything everybody does. We're not going to see everything everybody posts or, but when you have those milestones, when somebody, as an artist or creator, when you have a cover that drops, that goes into pre-sale or something, or you have a Kickstarter that's going on for 30 days, there's no way in hell you're not going to see that at some point. Why won't you share it? Why do you unfollow? So there's your good question for the audience or anybody that wants to answer that question. I'm not going to berate you or anything if you think you have an answer for that, or if you do it. I personally don't do it. When I see somebody that's being a pain in the ass, or they're being too political with their bullshit, or they're being too much hyped up bullshit about their new chakra and their new level of a spiritual enlightenment and shit, and I know it's bullshit, I just unfriend them. If they're acting like a dick, I unfriend them. If they're being a bitch, I unfriend them. If they're being hateful, I unfriend them. I'm not unfollowing no damn body. You're gone. I'll just unfriend you and move on. So why do you do it, or why do you think people do it if you don't do it? What's the point in that? I mean, again, it's also one of those conversation pieces like, why are you on people's friends list if you're like someone's professional friends list? Why are you on someone's professional friends list if you're not sharing their content or interacting at some point? Because you're interacting I've even seen it on mine. I've seen people that are straight up on my friends list who don't like, comment, share anything I do, but I will see them consistently smooching ass on, some bigger name, artist or creator out there. Why? Why are you there? I mean, the only thing I can fathom is if for some reason there's some weird connection with, if I have a certain amount of people on my friends list, it means I'm important. or maybe if I have a certain, if I have a lot of creator people on my friends list, I'm important. Is that what it is? Boy, I brought that subject up. We went from 9 people to 4. That's funny. Oh, shit. We brought up that real subject, and we went from like 9 or 10 people in here down to 4. Holy shit. Where'd y'all go? What's wrong? Did I strike a nerve with that one? Because I see it all the time. I see even artists that will sit and comment on other artists that they feel, I guess they feel is important to make sure they're constantly connecting with, but they don't say shit else on anybody else's stuff. And like I said, at the end of the day, it makes me sit here and go like, well, okay, I'm okay if you don't give a shit. Like, it's okay. It's not going to bother me. Like, if you don't give a shit about what I got to do or what I got to say or what's going on, I'm okay with that. I'm not going to be mad at you. Just why are you on my friends list? Nobody wants to answer that one. Damn, I figured somebody, look, we down to 4 again. Nobody wants to talk about that shit. Like, I shit you not, man. Like, you bring that subject up, nobody wants to talk about that one for the most part. Everybody gets super quiet. Like, it's so bad. Like, we were talking about this the other day. It's so bad at the moment, that mentality, that there's a few people that are talking in the scenario of unfriending every single artist and creator that's on our friends list and not worry about it. Because, some of us, we're not here to collect names. I don't give a shit who's on your friends list. It's not going to make you feel any more important to me. Whether you're friends with this superstar or that superstar, it don't mean shit to me. And some of these other people that I'm friends with, it don't mean shit to them either. So we sit back and go, well, okay, I see these people, I see these creators, these artists, etc., writers, so on, that are constantly sharing my content, or even occasionally sharing it. Or sharing, I see them sharing other people's comments. So they're walking that community talk that a lot of people do. But then I see a lot that don't do shit. Not a single word, not a single peep. So, that's one of those things that makes you sit back and wonder, like, well, okay, if you don't ever give a shit about any of it, why are you here? And like I said, we're not talking about a situation where it's a constant thing. We're talking about those key moments where, we dropped a new cover and we've got, we're pre-selling it for like 2 weeks and posting it, every few days. Or we do it a Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter runs for a month and we're talking about it once a week or something like that. And they don't bother to share. Like, so, but you'll share dumbass memes. You get what I'm saying? Like, you see my point on that? Like, I've watched people who don't share any of my work stuff, but I can post some kind of damn meme or some shit and it'll get shared. And I'm like, what the hell? Like I even got sneaky about it one time. I shared this one meme or something one time, and that thing had like 70 something shares on it. I went in and hit the edit button and put like some of my artwork information and edited it to that, deleted the meme part of it and put up like my art tag or something like that. It's the weirdest thing. And none of you guys want to chime in on that. What the hell? 6 of you guys in here. Nobody wants to chime in on what the thinking might be behind that. That's funny. Where'd my Nita go? Nita probably answer that. She probably bounced though. I'm so ready for this damn movie. The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Oh, I'm so ready for that movie. That's going to be such a good movie. Let's see what other stuff we got going on. Like I said, Bell County Comic-Con this coming weekend in Belton, Texas. The pre-show commission list is open for that. So if you're in the Bell County, you're coming to that con, you want a commission, that's where you need to claim it, because I probably won't be doing, what's up, Danny? I probably won't be doing commissions at the show. If I do, it'll be like headshots or something like that. It'll be only like 1 or 2 spots a day. I don't really do a whole lot of sketches at shows because, like I mentioned earlier, I don't want to be sitting there with my face buried in work trying to interact with fans, you know. Ugh. Boom, boom, chicka, boom. Who all is in here watching? I can't tell. I wish there was a way to see. Who's lurking in there? Who's not saying hello? It says there's 7 of you guys in here. We see Mark. We see Danny. Chris might still be here. I don't know. He had, I think he was coming back from a con. Who's still in here? What's up, Matt? Good, man. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, the videos are just for fun. It's to talk a little shit, have a little fun, shine a little light on some things, and just interact a little bit. So, oh, good. I'm glad you're liking it, man. What's up, Miss Delgado? The goddess of Texas. For those that don't know, she's an absolute sweetheart, and she's got some of the most adorable little ones I've ever seen. Absolutely incredible little artists of their own, and fans. They are super fans. She comes to every damn event I've got in or near the Dallas-Fort Worth area, whether it's signing events, whatever. Her and the kids come out, which a lot of people come out, and I appreciate that. But it's awesome when you see kids, you know, still being like fans of comics or fans of art, because a lot of days this is the only thing kids are fans of, this bullshit right here. Look at that little blinking light. I've never noticed that. Does it just do it when there's light? Oh, there it goes. Interesting. You know, that right there is what they're a fan of, TikTok and bullshit like that, and, you know, mind-numbingly stupid shit. But no, like her, you know, every time she comes out, she's got her kiddos with her, and they are absolute sweethearts, and they're all about comics, they're all about art, and that's refreshing. Which, I mean, I'm glad I see that a lot at Comic-Cons. You'll see, you know, kids there, and they'll come up and, you know, ask how to draw this or ask how to draw that, or their parents are talking about, oh, yeah, my daughter or my son's into art, and they'll show me some of their pictures. That's what matters. I wish more parents spent less time shoving this shit in their kids' faces, and or allowing it, and got them more into, you know, reading comics or reading books in general, you know, or art or music or whatever the case. Because you want to try to pull your kids into art and music, because art and music is something that teaches you how to be a free thinker. You know, and it helps you not be part of the herd. You know what I'm saying? And it also, you know, it keeps that creative energy going. You know, I mean, you never know when, you know, just that little bit of attention you show a kid, you know, for drawing or whatever the case may be. I mean, shit, they could be your next FX artist working on a blockbuster movie, you know, or they could be your next big writer writing, you know, some kind of sitcom or TV show. You never know. But if they got their face buried in this shit, every damn time they got their eyes open, they ain't going to do shit ever. All this is going to teach them is how to be sheep and how to listen to what one side or the other tells them to do, you know? So, I mean, definitely. And I see it a lot, man. I get stuck eating uptown a lot, whether working or at a Comic-Con and travel. And even when I was in my insurance job for 7.5 years, it never failed. I'd sit in a damn restaurant eating dinner, a family walk in, you know, whether it's a full family, like mom, dad, 2 or 3 kids, everybody's got their face buried in that piece of shit ass phone. Every single one of them, from the toddler in the high chair to the 14, 15, whatever ages that are sitting next to mom and dad, and mom and dad's got their face buried in their damn piece of shit phone too. It's sad, Yeah, that's true too. It teaches people how to be less suicidal, because when you grow up on this shit, you grow up in a lonely ass place. You don't learn how to communicate. You don't learn how to interact with other kids. You don't learn how to cope with shit in general. Social media is a terrible place, for kids to grow up. Phones and social media, etc. Terrible place. I mean, it's a terrible place for us. This damn thing is toxic as hell. That's one of the reasons I try to limit myself on. That's why I miss a lot of the stuff you guys post, because I don't want to be on there longer than I have to. So I'll open up Facebook. I don't scroll it because I don't want to see the political bullshit. I don't want to see the religious bullshit. I don't want to see the, Crimea River bullshit, somebody seeking attention. I don't want to see none of it. So I'll open my Facebook. Like I said, I don't scroll. I open it. I type up my little damn post I need to make or what I need to share out at that moment, and I hit post, and I'm gone. The only other times I get back on is when I see the notifications that people are sending me a PM or people are commenting on something I posted, because I try to at least hit the like button on anything anyone says on anything I post, or say thank you on every single comment, no matter whether it's 5 comments or whether it's 100. I try to say thank you to everyone, or at least hit the like button on what they said, to acknowledge to them that I saw that they said it. Now, by living that way, though, I do miss a lot of things you guys post. I miss a lot of announcements that you guys might make. It may be a day or two later before I see it, and then I try to comment on it, or I try to share it. So I'm going to miss a lot of stuff because I don't want to be on there. That thing is toxic as hell. It's useful, but it's toxic, and it is extreme. There's a lot of hateful people in this damn world, and they can't help but shit on other people's stuff. I mean, just like that damn, Crimea River, I'm going to pretend to be a victim shit the other day on my post about the Psycho Sal cover that's based off of the Batgirl 41 cover. Everybody's chiming in about, oh, I love the cover. It looks awesome. They're chiming in about the artwork. And here comes this little, batshit crazy. I got to be a victim. Let me pretend to be offended, because we know anyone pretending to be offended, they're not offended. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about the people they're pretending to be offended for. We know that. It's just, I need someone to pat me on the back and acknowledge that I'm fighting the good fight. And I'm here to save all the other people. That's all the hell that shit is. They don't give a shit about nobody. But, that person chimed in with something like, oh, I'm glad to see this image includes SA and everybody's fine with it, or something like that, And I was like, nobody said anything about the subject material. Nobody's saying the subject material is good or not. They're talking about the art. But anyway, I didn't argue with the person. I just laughed at them and told them to take their miserable ass on somewhere and added them to the blacklist. Well, it was only up for like 30 seconds because I laughed at them, said, you continue to live in your little fake ass world of pretending to be offended. And I blocked them. So, because I'm over that shit. Because they ain't nobody offended. They're not. They're just not. It's just not. I'm sorry. They're just not. They're not offended. They're not offended. When I don't give a shit whether it's the song. I don't give a shit whether it's my cover. I don't give a shit whether it's the movie. I don't give a shit what it is. They ain't nobody offended. It's all it is virtue signaling, wanting somebody to pat them on the back. That's all it is. So, thank you. I mean, that's all it is. It's supposed to be a difficult cover because we're trying to show people that Psycho Sal is not someone you're going to like. He is not meant to be liked. He is meant to shine light on the stupidity that we all seem to be affecting us with this nothing can happen to me bullshit mentality. And everybody's guilty of it. I mean, I don't know how many times I've watched people walk out of restaurants with their face buried in their phone, not paying attention to anything going on around them. I mean, and that's the way Psycho Sal's supposed to be. He's supposed to show you how at any moment that could be you, you know? And so the cover is meant to be a difficult cover. It's meant not to be, sexy, and it's not meant to be pretty, and it's not meant to be heroic. It's not meant to be none of that. I mean, if you look at any of the covers for Psycho Sal, especially the ones I've done, we're trying to show you that he's not for someone for you to side with. He's not for someone for you to go, oh, okay, I like his attitude. I like what he's doing, because that happens a lot in horror movies. People tend to latch on to Freddy Krueger because of his personality, or they latch on to Jason Voorhees for whatever sympathy they might have for someone being bullied, et cetera, et cetera. And we don't want that with Psycho Sal. We don't want anybody siding with him in any way, shape, or form. We want this book to be, strictly about you connecting with the victims and the people that are trying to stop those types of people, and that's the way it should be. I mean, you should be, you should hate him. You should hate everything that he does, everything he stands for, everything that he's putting people through. It shouldn't be a funny thing. And that's one of the things, if you read Psycho Sal book, there's no funny about anything he's doing. Even when you look back at classic horror movies from the 80s, the slasher movies, there's a lot of comedy in it. There's a lot of funny spots. Even some of the newer horror has those little funny moments. There's no funny moments in Psycho Sal. Like, it's a very serious comic book. It's not meant for kids, and it's not meant for humor. I mean, even in these future issues, there's the comfort level of the reader is going to be pushed big time, especially in issue number 4 and going into 5 and 6. These next 3 books, like the comfort level is going to be pushed big time. It's going to really rub it in your face and show you that you walking out of a restaurant at 10 o'clock at night and there's 2 or 3 cars in the parking lot and you're sitting here texting on your phone, not paying a single bit of attention to anything around you, could literally put you in Psycho Sal's hands, So, it's one of those things where you have to wake up. And that's kind of what Psycho Sal's meant to do, is to show people you are not in a bubble. You are not protected. You are not, in a situation where nothing happened. Because, I mean, even according to the FBI, right now in the U.S., I want to think the last time I looked at the FBI report, which was like last year when I first started the Psycho Sal trip, it was 30 plus or 50 plus active serial killers in the U.S. at that moment that they have not been able to capture or whatever. So you have 30 plus or 50 plus or whatever it was on the numbers that are active right now, that could be literally watching you walk from your house to your car or your job to your car, but you're too busy updating your Facebook status, or you're too busy answering some bullshit text that doesn't matter. And, you're oblivious to everything going around you. So that's what Psycho Sal's meant to kind of point out to you. I mean, think about that for a second. How many times have you gotten into your car and you've never looked in the back seat before you got into your car? How many times have you walked through your house and you've never bothered to look around to see if anything looked out of place? Think about that. I mean, because really and truly, we're oblivious to what could happen. We definitely believe that we live in this little sheltered bubble that nothing can touch us. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, that's one of the reasons why Psycho Sal's patterns are not to a certain thing. By the time you read issue number 1, you had already been exposed to, I think it was 4 different murders, 2 males and 2 females. I mean, we even changed the concept of how serial killers operate just to try to get people to pay a bit more attention, because with Psycho Sal, there are no patterns. All of his murders are completely different from one another. His victims are completely different from one another. You know, it doesn't matter to him whether you're male or female, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, or Asian, or whatever. He doesn't care about your race. He doesn't care about your financial stance. He doesn't give a shit if you're rich. He doesn't give a shit if you're poor. He does not care if you're young or if you're old. And like I said, Psycho Sal's going to be pushing some serious ass comfort zones in the next, between issues 4 through 9. Well, it's probably going to be 10 issues. The last part of the book's probably going to go to 10 issues instead of 9. But those last 4 issues are all Psycho Sal's perspective. So you're going to see a lot of shit that's going to happen that's going to make you go, wait, holy shit, what the hell's going on? Hang on one second, guys. I'll be right. All right, I'm back. Had to grab some more water. So I mean, that's the whole point, to Psycho Sal is, and that's why one of the reasons I chose that band cover for Batgirl 41. And I think that was stupid. I don't think they ever should have banned that cover. It's a great cover. It shows you how extreme Joker he is. And, so I thought that was always stupid that the cover got banned anyway. So we're bringing it in, we're bringing it back for Psycho Sal. I'm trying to decide on that cover how I want to do it. If I want it to be a black and white or how I want to do it. Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think it was banned. I'm pretty sure it was. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I think so. I think it got banned. Which is kind of odd. Wait, did that book get banned? Did that cover? Because now that I'm sitting there thinking about it, I could have sworn someone told me that book got banned or that cover got banned. And there's nothing got recalled. I wonder why they recalled it. Because really and truly, when you look at that cover versus my cover of it, my cover's way more on the band side. You know what I'm saying? As far as for companies. I wonder why that. I'm going to have to go look that up. So it got recalled because she wasn't nude or anything. I mean, she was, for the Me Too, what the fuck ever. Well, mine's not getting recalled. They can bitch and cry all they want to about it. Yeah, and don't be wrong. I'm sure you can just about bet when this cover hits the market, you can just about bet there's going to be some people that show their ass about this cover. I mean, ain't no doubt about it. There's going to be some folks that show their ass about that cover. That cover right there. You can bet money there's going to be some people show their ass about that cover. But I don't care because Psycho Sal has killed men and women. And so, I mean, I'm not concerned about it. They can kiss my ass because it's one of those things like it's a terrible truth, it's sad that there's people out there that behave like Psycho Sal, for as an example. There's some truly evil people walking this planet on both sides. And when I say both sides, I mean there's evil people walking on the right, there's evil people walking on the left, there's evil people that are male, there's evil people that are female. There's lots of evil walking around, So, they're not going to play the bullshit game with me. It's going to be published. I don't care what they got to say about it. They can Me Too their ass right on down the street. Because it's one of those things that, if you can't go through life hiding everything from everyone. You can't go through life sugarcoating shit, giving people this false sense that nothing can happen to them. Nothing's going to happen. You're fine. You can't keep doing that shit. And we've done that for a while. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, you got to put labels on shit now so people won't drink Clorox. I mean, that's how damn sheltered we've made everybody, that we wouldn't even talk about telling people don't drink, acid. I mean, how stupid you got to be. And a lot of that comes from the sugar-coated upraising, like a lot of people have had, where they don't talk about nothing. And I mean, I've talked about this. Yeah, exactly. There you go. There's a prime example. Fucking damn Tide Pods. There's a prime example. You had to tell people not to do it. So, I mean, and like I said, that comes from creating a generation of candy asses. That comes from creating a generation of, well, no, we can't talk about that. We can't talk about that. I mean, and this stuff needs to be talked about. I mean, trying to warn people how to watch out for, things is not a bad thing. Telling people how, assault can happen and the ways you could put yourself in a situation. And that's across the board, whether it's men or women, either one. Because the same thing can happen to you as a damn dude. I mean, it isn't, assault is not something that is just about the ladies. I mean, men get assaulted way more than women do in general. And a lot of that can happen by you not paying attention to what's going on around you. I mean, think about, here's another prime example of something that was happening a few years ago. The punching game. Look at how many people you saw in videos where they're oblivious to shit going on around them and somebody creeped up on them and punched them in the face. Now, I'm not saying you could have stopped someone from punching you in the face necessarily, but if you'd been paying attention to what's going on around you, I mean, dude, that's one of the things, like, I'm super paranoid about people. I don't trust nobody. So when I mean, like, it's so bad for me, like, not trusting. When I go into a restaurant, I sit with my back at the back. So, like, I sit facing the door. I make sure my back is never against the door. I don't trust anyone walking through that damn door. When I sit at a theater, I sit towards the top so I can see the people walking in and the people sitting around me. When I walk from, a Comic-Con late at night, I am not on my phone. I am looking at every damn body else that's walking. When I'm walking to my car, I look at everyone that's parked next to my damn car and messing with their vehicles. When I leave a hotel late at night or something, I'm paying attention to who there's there. When I go to my room in a hotel, before I ever pull to put the key in the door, I look both ways in the aisle of the hotel to see if anybody's in the hallway with me. I don't trust nobody. When I'm in a elevator, I move to the back corner where my back is against the wall and I see everybody that walks in the door, or I can, nobody's ever standing behind me in an elevator. So I don't give a shit if I walk into a crowded elevator. I'll move around them to the back. Now that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to stop anything that could happen. Doesn't mean shit in that sense. You could still get into a situation, shot, stabbed, whatever the case, but you at least have a little bit of reaction time if you can see what's going on. When I'm not on my phone in an elevator. I'm not on my phone in the hallway of the hotel. I mean, it's, and you can call me paranoid if you want to. that's fine. I don't give a shit. I'll stay paranoid. You know, when I go to my vehicle at night, I look in the backseat of my car. You know, if I'm having to park somewhere in a parking garage, I look around before I step out of my vehicle. You know, you got to use a little damn common sense, and too many people don't. So, you can't walk around just hiding this shit. Oh, you can't do that cover because it might offend somebody. You know what? Yeah, it might offend somebody that could have had something happen to them. And I hate that. And I feel bad for them. But it also could, even though it's a comic, and you can call me silly for this if you want to, it may make somebody start paying more attention. I mean, it's possible, talking about these types of situations could have somebody going, holy shit, I didn't really think about that. And now I look, you got to have a bit of common sense because there's too much crazy shit going on. Yeah, that's another thing too. Like that one dude that he's in a deep shit for doing these pranks where he told somebody, well, it's a good thing you gave me that money for the burger and stuff. Otherwise, I was going to hit you in the head with this rock. That dude's going to end up being shot because he's going to end up trying to assault someone thinking it's funny, and they're not going to know what's going on. And there's some folks out there, you're not going to get the opportunity to hurt them. I can tell you right now, it's not, I carry. You think I'm going to let somebody come up on me with a damn rock, whether it's a prank video or any damn thing? Hell no, because it may not be. It could be some damn tweaker, having an episode and ready to, put a brick upside your head. Hell no. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a big believer in that too. If a song upsets you, you need to work on you. Okay. If you hear a song, that isn't nothing but a song, and your ass has got to go into some kind of like sheltered existence where you got to rant and rave all over social media because it hurts your fit. You need to get some therapy. Same thing with a movie. If somebody makes the movie and that movie upsets you, you need to get your shit figured out because there's something wrong, but it ain't the movie. It ain't the song. It ain't my cover. It ain't nothing else. It's just you trying to pretend to be offended to feel important. That's all that shit is. And that's some kind of self, awareness you need to work out on your own. If somebody votes a certain way and it just rattles you, you need to figure your shit out. There's something wrong with you, not the person in the way they voted. Because there's a lot of people that vote ways I don't agree on. But if something triggers you, you need to figure out you. That's not a them problem. That's a you problem. If somebody calls you the wrong pronoun or some shit and it just wrecks your day, you need to figure out you. Again, that's not a them problem. That's a you problem. And it works across the board. I don't give a shit if you're left wing, right wing, whatever the hell it is. If somebody doing something upsets you that isn't directly at you, you need to figure out what the hell your problem is. Because people are allowed to not like you. People are allowed to speak how they want to speak. People are allowed to vote how they want to vote. People are allowed to drive whatever damn vehicles they want to drive without you blocking their damn highway for them to get to work with your $1,000 damn phone. People crazy. All right, anyway, guys, it's like 9 o'clock. I'm going to get off here. I've rambled on enough. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, listen to me just ramble on about shit. Yeah, it's supposed to be about freedom, but a lot of people don't like it when it's, like I said, nobody's offended. All it is people that they have zero importance to their life. Zero. They have no goals. They have no accomplishments. They have nothing but the need to make people think that they're fighting some imaginary fight. That's all that shit is. If you're offended, you're fake as fuck. Sorry. There you go. Unless it's a legit ass damn thing where some dude's standing up there screaming some hateful, racist, cruel shit. And it's just you being triggered about a song or you being triggered about a movie or you being triggered about how somebody voted. That's some bullshit, fake ass shit. And I don't care what you got to say about it. That's something you need to work out on your own and get in touch with your own damn problems. Find something you can get good at to where you can be a productive part of society instead of crying a river every time somebody farts the way you don't like. Anyway, you guys have a great night. I'll talk to you later.